episode 12, CJ Squared. I'm GB. I'm here with my man Joey, my man Chris, and we are here to educate the masses, the millions of people out there who are wondering about what we're doing. Talking NBA, we're talking NFL, we're talking NHL. A lot of things going on out there. We're going to talk about the NBA playoffs, the NBA playoffs.
Playoffs.
We're just trying to win a game. That's the playoffs, right? So we're going to talk about who has surprised us and who has disappointed us. Because there are a few teams out there that we're like, come on, man. Bro, let's go. Get it together, right? We're going to check in on our picks. You watched the show last week. You saw our picks for this first round, for these first round matchups, and you know that me and Chris are doing pretty good right now. Joey, not so much, but and we're gonna talk about Julio Jones. He's not Mac Jones. Who?
Julio.
Julio Jones. My bad. Dang it.
Talk about Julio a little bit. Talk about the NHL playoffs. Who we got, and of course we got the CJ Squared Elite 8. And we're gonna talk about who do we think can win the NBA championship outside of the favorites. And if you don't know who the favorites are, those are the Nets and the Lakers. So we're going to talk about that. And then finally, we're going to hit you upside your head with that hot take, right? Last week's hot take is still simmering a little bit. I heard that
looking good, JB.
Students are matching up against the Dukes from James Madison University, who's only lost one game all year. But we all know from Joey's last week that Oklahoma is a powerhouse. And so we're going to talk about Joey's newest hot take. All right, so first question of the night, right? Oh, shout out all my Star Wars people. You can't see them. I'm rocking my This Is the Way Mando shirt. So just so you know.
The way.
This is the way.
My screen's a little clearer. Hopefully we won't have any lags, right? So that's another thing. I'm shouting out myself for getting a new laptop. But anyway.
You've been waiting for it.
I've been waiting for it, right? It came early too. It came 2 weeks early. Right? That's awesome. Thank you, HP, for hooking me up. All right. Now, first question. I'm going to throw it to you, Chris. Who has surprised you and also who has disappointed you so far in these playoffs?
It's the Knicks right now of Joey's boys. They've disappointed me. They just can't. For all that Randall hype that we were throwing out, he's just been not very good. I saw the stats. Let me see. He was right now in 4 games, he's shooting 36.
Easy, Chris.
36%, 13%, 31%, and 26% in 4 games.
It's getting bad when Chris started pulling stats on you.
Easy on him, Chris. Easy on him.
And then RJ Barrett has been equally as bad. He's a guy who they thought, I think it looked like going into the playoffs that he would have turned the corner, but he's just not at all. And they really cannot find a way to shut down Trae Young. He's kind of taken over this series, and also John Collins and Capella seem to be doing what they want to do as well. I saw a stat where during the regular season they shot 39% from 3 and 45% from for field goal percent. They haven't gotten one of those numbers yet, even in their wins. So, and Atlanta's just been, beating them on all aspects of the game. And I also saw that in the regular season, they're close as far as 3 points per game. And not once has New York outshot them and made threes for this series. So I don't know how you actually find a way to win. We'll see if they can get Randall going next game. But it's just those two. We actually had picked Atlanta to beat them. I just thought New York would put up a better – I didn't think Atlanta would play this good. So that's kind of my surprise is that they're dominating this series, and Trae Young has taken a jump up.
Yeah.
You know, Trae Young's always been compared to Luka. No, he is so sad. We're
Don't
just
forget,
crushing him.
what's called, what's his name? Bogdan.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing is Atlanta is deep. Atlanta is deep. They may give somebody trouble because they are deep. Trae Young, if he plays, I mean, he's, you know, everyone this year he's kind of been forgotten. You know, everyone always compared him and Luka because of the same class, and he's been kind of forgotten, but he's been dominant this
for
year.
each other.
So yeah, we'll see if Knicks can come up with something, but they got to get Randall going, and he's just been. I mean, the numbers he hasn't. Barrett played all right today. What do you have? 20 something a day. I think shot pretty well for him at least, but they just got to get something going. So
The Vince Carter, because what?
Come on, Joey. Come on, Joey. You gotta get one more out of him. But yeah, it's the Knicks, and I like it. So I'm surprised that Atlanta has been so dominant. So
right,
yeah.
All right. What about your disappointing team, Chris?
Well,
the team that surprised you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So it's actually those two, just this, and it's both in that series that Atlanta has been as dominant as they've been. I just thought I had picked it, but I thought for sure it was going to go deeper in, and not that Atlanta would look so good. I didn't think Trae Young. I've been kind of sleeping on Trae Young to be a dominant force that could just kind of take over games, and he's just, I don't know what Knicks can throw at him, and it shows that the Knicks are just kind of too early in there, you know, to be the 4th seed. I think they're just kind of an overrated.
Yeah. Defense gets you so far, man. They need some more offense. They need some more. They got like one legit shooter. They need more shooting. Right? They got Jalen starting now.
And they need guys who not just post up guys, or not just kind of spot up guys that can't create their own shot. Derrick Rose has played well, but he wasn't even in their plans. So, you know, and Atlanta's just looked really good. You know, I'm just surprised that they look so good. So
yeah, they're young, they're deep. They got shooting everywhere.
Yeah, they do. And
they got
Capella everywhere.
And the thing with
everywhere.
Capella,
I mean, they got everybody can shoot a 3 except for Capella.
And Capella just has to do. He's like that old school guy that just can man the middle. And if Collins is so athletic, I mean, they're going to give somebody trouble a little bit, you know, just because of that'll be a good matchup if they play Philly, which it looks like they're for sure going to. So
that's a terrible matchup. Go ahead. What is your surprise team and team that has disappointed you outside of your beloved Knicks? My precious. Let
me just feel like JB, Chris. I feel like Chris just took one of those dart guns and shot a toothpick in my back. Let me take the toothpick out of my back, because he just destroyed my beloveds who are definitely struggling. But the Knicks are disappointing, but they are not, in my opinion, the most disappointing team. The most disappointing team to me going into playoffs right now are the other Los Angeles team, the team in the basement of the Staples Center, the Los Angeles Clippers.
The basement.
They are the most disappointing team in the NBA playoffs right now, because up until maybe 9:50-ish on Friday night, they were getting the brakes beat off of them again.
The brakes.
They were getting the brakes beat off of them. The Mavericks, the players were all dancing around in the American Airlines Arena. The fans were Mark Cuban. They were going nuts. They were up, I believe it was 32-11.
30-11, I believe, at one point.
Oh my gosh. It was raining threes. Now, they're disappointing, but let me at least say this. As much as disappointing as I think they have been, their two players are playing pretty well.
Yeah.
They are playing pretty well. The thing is, their defense now, of course, the millions have heard us talk about the defenders that are on the Los Angeles Clippers. the millions that have been listening to us every week. And we know that they arguably have the two best perimeter defenders in basketball. But for some reason, Luka continues to do whatever he wants. And I think we now know that, well, we don't know just now, but we know Luka's going to do whatever he wants. But you would think that a team that has the two best perimeter defenders is going to have some sort of enthusiasm that they're going to spread to everybody else. We all need to pick up our defensive game just a little tiny bit. Yes, Luka is going to get his, but we got to stop letting these guys bang all of these threes. I mean, bang. They kept banging threes. Game 1, 17 of 36 from 3. Game 2, 18 of 34 from 3. Now, game 3, Dallas hit 23s. They shot 51%, but maybe, just maybe, the two leaders of the Clippers did get around to the rest of the Clippers and say, look, we gotta do something, because they allowed 21 threes and they were still able to pull out game 3. That was a huge win for the Clippers on Friday night.
Humongous win.
huge win. So the Clippers are the most disappointing to me up to this point.
And your most surprising team?
The most surprising team to me up to this point, the Clippers. The reason why the Clippers are the most surprising team to this point to me is because after allowing bang after bang after bang, they were able to come around, settle things down,
pick
and
themselves up,
stole game 3 back. There is no way they went into that game, that first quarter, they were steamrolled through the first few moments. And if anyone was watching the first 6 minutes of that first quarter, and if you saw what was happening, you may have gotten close to be like, I'm turning this nonsense off. There's got to be something else.
I was like, I can't watch this.
There's got to be something else better on. And there may have been, because for all you wrestling fans, AEW did have a special. They had a special showing on Friday night. And shouts out to
AEW.
AEW tonight had a pay-per-view. Shouts out to a dentist that won the Women's World Championship in
there we go.
AEW. Dr. Britt Baker, congratulations. She's not only a wrestler, she's a dentist. She's a dentist too, JB.
One in the commercials, right? I've seen the commercials.
She is a dentist too. She is now the women's champion.
What's her name?
Dr. Britt Baker, DDS.
Nice. All right, so Joey, the Clippers are your biggest disappointment. Biggest surprise. Wow, that is a big surprise. Well, for me, my biggest disappointment has to be the Miami Heat. Now, I expect the Bucks to beat them, but I didn't think the Heat were going to put up a fight. They didn't. In their home games, they got completely dominated. And, I'm not really a big, I look at stats, but I really don't quote them too much. But here's some stats for you from this series. The Heat only scored 98 points a game. The Bucks scored 118 points a game. The Heat are supposed to be a good defensive team. Allowed the Bucks to shoot 54% from the field for the series.
Not good.
And Mr. Miami Heat himself, Jimmy Butler, for the series, he wasn't even the Heat's leading scorer. He averaged 14.5 a game.
Who was the Heat's leading scorer? Don't say Goran.
It was the Dragon averaged 16 points a game.
Oh my.
Oh, jeez.
So Milwaukee had everybody thought that the Bucks were going to be scared to play the Heat.
Don't be scared.
And I saw a tweet by the official Milwaukee Bucks Twitter handle, and they kept all the receipts. they tweeted out every reason why the Heat were going to beat them. And they tweeted them all from each game. They're like, when they won the first game, this is an aberration. It's going to be 5 games. Heat going to win next 4. Then it was again. Heat going to win in 6. Then it was again. The Heat are going to. They didn't. The Heat lost 4 hot to a team that they utterly dominated last year in the playoffs. And I think Milwaukee was favored. I like Milwaukee. They have better shooting. Brent Forbes lit them up.
Yes, they did.
Brent Forbes lit them up. Now the Bucks did lose Dante DiVincenzo.
Big loss.
Down the line, but they got some shooting. It's going to be a good series between them and the Nets. Now, my biggest surprise, I'm going to keep it short because, I mean, you know, I didn't know Chris was going to go with the Hawks. I like the Hawks too, but I don't want to pile on Joey too much more. I mean, I said that the Hawks are going to beat them, right? The regular season don't mean crap, all right? The Knicks are good for the regular season, right? Defense, all that. Have no scoring. The Hawks have shooting everywhere. They got shooting everywhere. Off the bench, play them much. They got screens and shooting everywhere. So I think maybe the Knicks can pull off game 5 in New York, maybe. But I do believe that the Hawks will win this series, and the Knicks will go home and try to figure out what they're going to do next year. So
we got some big questions. Say that.
Yeah, disappointing teams and surprising teams so far. Now let's take a look, since we've been talking about the playoffs. Let's take a quick peek at how we're doing so far. And you guys know that because the playoffs last so long, there are not many series that are done. Me and Chris, of course, got that Bucks series right. Even though Chris went 5, I went 6. The Bucks still won. The Nets, I did call it. I said that Tatum gonna get 51 game, and the Nets would get the Celtics would get 1. He got 50, but
that's the second time you've called Tatum getting 50, JB.
That's his thing.
No, it's a wrap. Next game is over. It's over. 25. They're going home.
What's I mean, is that done now, that game?
No, one more. It's 3-1, the Nets.
Yeah, they won by almost 20. So
they destroyed them, right? And we got the 76ers. We all picked them. I didn't think the Capitals, I'm sorry, the Wizards were going to get a W, but my man Joel Embiid air humping. He ain't got humping. And
air humps.
He's giving them buckets. He just had a playoff career high 36 points. More to come on Embiid later. So, and then of course we got the Hawks. We got the Hawks in 6 and 7. Joey had the Knicks in 6. That means the Knicks gotta win.
Can we erase that 6 and put 7 in there, JB?
No. It's nothing. It's not changing, bro. All right. And your Knicks not gonna win anyway. It doesn't matter. All right. Now, the Clippers. We all have the Clippers right now. The Clippers are up 16, up 15, with 3 minutes left in the second quarter. So maybe the Clippers can come back.
It's
over. Get more hot. It's gonna be close. Now
it's over.
Obviously my Blazers in 5 pick was ridiculous, but hey, sometimes you got to go out on a limb. But I said the Blazers winning in 6, or even 7, right? And Dame Dollar and CJ haven't even gone off yet. So it's tied 2-2. Just imagine when Dame Dollar goes off. When Dame Dollar goes off, what's going to happen, Joey? And of course, Joey picked the Nuggets. Chris, for some reason, wanted to be different on this one. He's going to pay a price
like
for
you said, you got to go out on a limb on one of them.
Yeah. I had the Jazz at 7 because I thought that maybe Donovan Mitchell wasn't coming back in time. But after the first game, they were like, stop the Pistons. We're going to bring him back because we have time to be messing with these guys because Ja Morant is the truth. He's steady trying to dunk on the Eiffel Tower.
Yes, he did.
Steady. He's trying to bring the noise. And man, our last pick was looking kind of sad for me and Chris, but then Anthony Davis got hurt and Chris Paul came back healthy. Now it's 2-2. The Suns going back with a whole bunch of momentum. So we'll see. By next week, you will know how our playoff picks went.
Playoffs.
Come on, I gotta go. I gotta root for the Grizzlies hard.
All right. So now it is time for some quick hitters because you may be tired of hearing us talk. So go ahead, Chris. Hit them with them quick hitters.
All right. So first up, we got which team do you think will win this year's Stanley Cup? We haven't really got into hockey. We'll probably get into it a little bit more once we get into the Stanley Cup Finals. But right now we're this is the first time we're touching on it. So Joey, you want to lead us off? Who you got winning the Stanley Cup this year?
Stanley Cup Finals will be won by the team that defeated the team that I picked to beat them. The Boston Bruins will win the Stanley Cup.
I saw Pasternak he's crucial. I saw he had a hat trick the other night. So yeah,
yes, he did.
Nice.
Yes,
all right, JB, who you got?
Well, I did a little bit of searching, and I saw the odds had the Vegas has the Bruins as the second best favorite or second, highest
best odds.
favorite.
Oh, they've gone up
favorite to win the Stanley Cup championship, and we have Colorado as the first favorite. But I'm skipping both of those. I'm going with the team that now is my favorite hockey team outside of the Capitals. That's Tampa Bay. I got Tampa Bay winning the Stanley Cup.
Defending Stanley Cup champs.
Tampa Bay is defending and they won today. So
I know.
Away. So
let's go Tampa Bay.
I was actually going to have, for me, whoever wins, I think whoever wins out of the Colorado Vegas series is coming out. And I was going to say whoever wins tonight is who I'll take. And Colorado up now, I just looked, they're up 6-1. So I'm going Colorado, the favorite. I'm not going out on a limb very much there. So
is Claude Lemieux on that team, Chris?
Yeah. Their front line with McKinnon, Landeskog, they're good. So yeah, they're definitely.
I couldn't tell the front line from me. I could tell the front line on a dog collar. Shout out my man Zach Zeller from GP. Your boy Chris just cracked on your Vegas team.
Hey, I was actually going to choose whoever was winning tonight. So I would have still. I think they're good. They're good, but I think Colorado's might be a little bit better. So, all right, next, the second question we got for the big hitters is, will Julio Jones get traded? And if so, where is he going?
All right, so can I start this one out? Okay.
JB, you take this.
Today, through my sources, internet,
your sources.
Bing, like, through my sources, I heard that for some reason the Seattle Seahawks were looking at Julio. Why? Seattle, you need to run the ball more. You saw what happened when you passed the ball all the time last year, right? So I'm going to hit you with this. I think the one team who could use Julio the most is going to trade for him, and that is the Titans, Tennessee.
Yeah, after losing Davis, they may. Yeah, they can never. And I think they have the cap room, right? I think they said they have the.
They said he would give him up for a second-round pick.
Where did Joey go?
Where did Joey go? Very from Joey.
Oh, there you go.
Button.
Oh, Joey's like, hold on.
That's the wrong button.
I'm out of here.
Come on, Joey.
He's like, let me do some I got a source real quick. I got to talk about the source. Hold on.
Our source coming. Hold on. I'm on the phone right now.
All right, Joey, who you got?
Chris, JB.
Oh.
Can we just rewind real quick to go back to when this whole thing started? I'm hearing my sources have told me that apparently Julio Jones informed the Atlanta front office that he wanted to be traded before. He told them this before the draft even happened.
Oh, yeah, we got the same source.
So
Yes,
if Julio told them this, if he told them this before the draft happened, number one, why didn't they make this happen? And then they had Justin Fields sitting right there. So if you want to trade Julio, shouldn't you be blowing everything up anyway? Why would they draft Kyle Pitts in that spot if they're going to trade arguably their best football player? They're clearly starting over.
Generational, bro. That's why.
He's not going to help him win. You need a quarterback because at some point, Matt Ryan is not going to be playing quarterback for them. Why not?
Help him win. They're going to sell tickets. Going to sell tickets.
Malarkey, JB. Malarkey. Shouts out to Belinda Segal.
Been in the Mercedes-Benz Dome.
Yes, you have.
Sell tickets.
Yeah,
Trust me.
It's just, I mean,
stadium too.
What are they thinking? What are they thinking? That I don't think they have not handled this thing well. They have not.
Well, I think that I read that they can't if they make the move after June 1st, I think it saves money salary wise, like a salary cap hit if they wait. So that could be the thing that they wait, and maybe they have been talking. And I think they're wanting a first round pick from him, and
right.
Supposedly, who knows if it's a smoke screen? They're saying that there's a first round on the table somewhere, but nobody else is hearing that.
That's a lie.
Yeah, so I think that they're just holding out. They've got to wait so it could be done this week, but I think they're trying to hold out for a first round pick. And they're saying that it's a first round is out there. That's what my sources are telling me.
Okay. How you going to here?
Hold on.
Go to here.
All right, so who did you have them going to, Joey?
Well, if this thing happens, if this thing, hold on. If this thing happens, clearly there's one team that needs to trade for him. There's only one team that needs this player right now. Even though you're only going to get him for probably 12 games, you got to sit him out at the end so he's healthy for the actual playoff run. Lamar Jackson needs a receiver to help him go to the next level. Baltimore is doing everything that they can do in order to get this all-pro future Hall of Fame receiver to play in Baltimore to help them win the AFC North. If it happens, he will be going to Baltimore. Baltimore better be calling the misguided front office of the Falcons.
Misguided.
Julio Jones.
Misguided. Completely
misguided. This should have happened a long time ago. Matt Ryan, okay, so he's going to throw for his 4,200 yards, his 35 touchdowns, Daniel Jones numbers for next year. He's going to do that. But what is it going to get them? 6-11?
Sales. Ticket sales.
7-10. That's what they are. They have not been the same since the Super Bowl loss. They have not been the same. How are they still struggling from blowing the second half to the Patriots? They're still struggling from that.
All right. So let me take the Niners. I think that with Shanahan, with Shanahan wanting, that's what my sources are saying. Actually, the only reason that I've read that they may not be able to is just cap space.
No, Samuel?
None of those are truly elite. Ayuk and Samuel are not number ones.
Number twos.
They're not number ones.
Number twos, JB.
Kittle cannot stay healthy. They're 2 years removed. They're 2 years removed from the Super Bowl. So they're clearly a team that can win. Shanahan has coached them and obviously, anytime you get an elite talent like that, you probably want him back. I think that the question will be, will they be able to afford his? Because I think they're talking about having the team Falcons take money back. And then also I saw New England was maybe cautious, is what I heard, that they might jump in. But I'll go with the Niners.
You heard that too. My sources told me that Julio and Cam had talked about getting together to play.
Yeah.
So they would give Cam a.
But they never have wideouts
target.
though. When's the last elite wideout they've had? Like
Randy
truly at
Moss.
number one, Randy Moss.
Randy Moss, maybe.
Yeah,
Or Russ Welker on the same team.
but Welker's probably not even like a true like elite one level guy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, but yeah, so we'll see. I think we'll see something pretty soon. I would think Atlanta would want to just move beyond this, and
Yes,
yeah,
you would think.
so.
Misguided.
All right, so let's jump back into the playoffs in the NBA playoffs. And like JB said, which team outside of the two betting favorites, this is the betting favorites, the Nets and the Lakers, do you think can win it all? Joe, you want to start us off here?
Oh, here we go.
This is a surprise.
Not surprise me. You for me.
Chris, I thank you for coming to me first on this because I have the best answer here. We know, as JB said earlier, the Nets and the Lakers are the favorites to meet in the NBA Finals. But unfortunately, there's a chance that the Lakers may not get there because they're not healthy. Well, here comes the basement team from the Staples Center. The LA Clippers will be making that run to the NBA Finals the way that they are playing right now. Because right now, they are banging Dallas. And the reason why this is going to happen...
They're beating them.
They're beating them.
Let me go back to the two best wing players they're two best players. Kawhi is doing whatever he wants. Coming into this game 4, and this game 4 that they are currently winning right now. Let's see. They're up by
45. I got you. 60 to 45.
Kawhi's numbers in 3 games against the Mavericks. He's averaging 35, 4 dimes, 8 rebounds. He's shooting 60% from the field. He's shooting 44 from 3. He's shooting 88 from the line. His player efficiency, 38.7. Claude, have mercy.
Can I just jump on your train real quick? I got to. I hate to. But right now, Kawhi 8 of 10 in the field.
He's just doing whatever he wants.
Whatever he wants.
Playoff.
And let me give you playoff P, because playoff P is actually having a pretty decent playoff series against the Dallas Mavericks also. He's averaging 27, 5, 8 rebounds. He's shooting 53% from the field.
Oh, you'll take that.
Crap from 3. He's only shooting 23% from 3, but he has not missed a free throw. And his PER is actually 30. So if Kawhi and PG keep playing like this, who's going to stop them in the West? Kawhi is doing whatever he wants, and we all know he's a fun guy. Obviously, basketball.
Board man gets paid, baby. Board man gets paid.
So the way that they are going right now, they're playing at a very high level, and it's only going to get better for them. They had the dirt being poured on them. The dirt being poured on them.
No, I was.
The Clippers' biggest fan.
I was so in the dirt.
The Clippers' biggest fan, Skip Bayless. The only reason why he loves the Clippers so much because he just wants to find a way to hate.
He bailed on them already. He bailed on them.
Oh, he said they were going to be. He said they were going to be swept. So I'm really waiting.
I saw the tweet.
Oh my goodness. So they're going to win. They're going to win this game, and they're going to go back to the Staples Center, and they're going to beat Dallas by 15 in game 5. Also, I'd like to see how everyone feels about the Clippers then, because they are rolling right now.
Okay.
All right, JB, who you got?
Well, I got to go with those guys out east who may have the real MVP of the league. You may have the defensive player of the league. So in the league, Bill Simmons and Marquise Thibault. Believe it or not, Marquise Thibault had last game he had 4 steals, 4 blocks, and like 12 minutes.
Yeah, on the perimeter, he's
He's a
ridiculous.
player. He's a player.
He's super for a leg back. Neither can Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
But the 76ers are going to give everybody fits. Why? Stop to be. Man, in the East, put a player on the floor that's going to stop Embiid from getting 36 and 30 points a game if he wants to. Now, you can either double team him and leave guys open. That's why they brought Danny Green in and they brought Seth Curry in to shoot threes. And of course, they got Korkmaz, but he ain't hit a three in a while. I'm like, come on, Korkmaz, put some shots. Come on, bro. Come on, Korkmaz, knock some shots down, right? And then you got Ben Simmons, you got Thibault, you got Hill, you got Danny Green, you got all these guys on the perimeter.
Seth Curry.
Get ready for the Nets. Get ready for the Bucks. I like Philly. Now I like Milwaukee too, but I like Philly more because they got my man. I got Philly, right? I know they giving. I thought the Wizards were gonna give them some run.
Yeah,
Like,
they've been blowing them out last couple of
I'm not
weeks.
even talking about, and then let's not forget the X Factor, Joey's boy. Tobias Harris has had his best year in the NBA.
Yeah.
And he is somebody you cannot forget about. When that first game, when Embiid was in foul trouble and they weren't scoring, he scored half of the person in the first half.
He did.
Yeah.
So
he's just
I'm gonna tell you this. The only team out east in the playoffs left that may play defense, two of them, one of them gonna get beat. The Knicks, right? They're gonna get beat. They be D, but they're gonna get beat because they don't have no scoring. And sometimes the Bucks play D. The Nets don't play D.
no.
I'm sorry. And even though they have maybe the top 3 players offensively in the league, they can't stop anybody. And in the playoffs, you got to stop somebody every once in a while. And they cannot stop Embiid or Philly. So I'm thinking the Sixers are going to be that team that goes to the finals this year based on their squad, Embiid, and just, because I said so.
Hey, shots out to another wrestling reference to D Generation X because they are the reason why Embiid did his thrusting celebration because he said he loves Triple H.
I saw that they said
shots out to DX.
They said something about it. They said that they liked that he was doing it.
Embiid went crazy, man. I don't know what's going on. Oh, like what?
That's
all
funny.
right. Yep.
All right, so I'm actually gonna go with the team you brought up. I'm gonna take the Bucks here. I'm gonna give you a few reasons why. I think Giannis. Remember last week we had talked about can he kind of turn the corner of that superstar to take that next step? And last year we saw he was hurt, but we saw what he did against the Heat. He didn't look like the same guy. They had completely shut him down last year. And in this year, he was pretty dominant. He actually had the triple-double. He had 15 assists, which is huge for his game because he's a guy who always tries to basically dunk the ball pretty much every time. It seems like he just wants to get to the rim as much as possible. And now he looks like a guy who's willing to do what it takes, which may be not trying to get there and then dishing the ball out. If he can get, now obviously 15 assists is a lot. He's not going to get that. But if he can move the ball to his shooters and make it everywhere, then,
like the
for me, if he can do that, that's huge because he's going to now be able to, they're not going to be able to, he says they make a wall around the paint.
They do. Everybody does.
Yeah. So, I mean, for him, if he can now trust his teammates, which is we've seen superstars struggle with this, if he can start to trust his teammates, maybe that makes that, that big jump for him. Then I say
Jon Snow climbing that wall, Chris.
Then we talk. Oh yeah,
no, we got a Game of Thrones reference.
Game of Thrones reference. Then we talked about defense. I actually think they match up with Holiday, and we've seen Giannis is a great defender, an all NBA level defender. So him and Durant, because this looks like what the matchup's going to be. That's going to be a crazy matchup.
That's going to be a tasty series.
Oh yeah, and then
they're going to be a nasty series.
it hurts a little bit losing DiVincenzo because although he's not a great offensive player, he probably would have been on Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
Holiday probably would take Harden.
Yep.
So, and Forbes, as great as he's been in the offensive side, he's probably a downgrade defensively. They've got PJ Tucker there, but I still think defensively they can hold their own against the Nets. So that alone is going to be
It'll make it difficult.
Yeah. So, and look what they did. I saw. So we had talked about how bad the Heat were. They held Jimmy Butler to 29% shooting, and Bam last year he shot 60% against them. He shot 46% against them this year. So I mean, if you hold Jimmy Butler, who's a superstar, to 29%, you're doing something. And then we discussed shooting. They have 5 guys in the top 100 for 3-point percent shooting, and they're all shooting above 39%. Bobby Portis is shooting 47%. Now, I don't know how long that's going to last, but you know who's actually leading? Oh, Bobby Portis. You know who's leading is the guy on Atlanta who they had last year, Tony Snell. We just talked about they got shooters everywhere, but Tony Snell is shooting
everywhere.
But see that again, what we talked about, if they want to wall you off and try to shut down Giannis, he's now got kick out options everywhere.
Everywhere.
So,
and don't forget, Chris, and don't forget that another thing the Bucks are doing different is they're posting up Lopez.
Oh, and that's the other thing.
Yeah. He's been in the paint, getting rebounds, scoring double figures.
I mean, that's a huge play. And so then they can beat you in more ways now if Lopez posts up, which I don't necessarily know with the Nets. You know, they don't really have a lot of great bigs. DeAndre Jordan doesn't get enough minutes.
Don't have anything. No, they have the young guy Claxton, and they have Jordan.
Yeah.
They don't got nobody for Embiid. They got nobody for the Bucks in the paint.
Yeah. So and another thing that helps is everyone always talks about Middleton not being a good enough 2. But they've never had a guy like Drew Holiday because Bledsoe is supposed to be that guy. Drew Holiday is a better version of Bledsoe in every way almost. So Drew Holiday could maybe take a little bit of the scoring load off if Middleton's not doing it or just get you buckets in other ways. So now I still would think the Nets are going to win and they'll be favored, but I think that series is going to be awesome, I would think, just because it's star power. You know, you got 2 of the main guys right there. It's just going to be the Durant Giannis has already been a good matchup. So yeah, that's going to be a really good match. There's this year's playoffs, the East, actually this year's playoffs, it seems to have really good matchups this year. I think it's the deepest the NBA playoffs the matchups have been going into it. You know what I mean? So
did you hear Giannis's troll of Miami after the series was over?
What did he say?
What did he say?
Giannis said after the series was over, when they were asking him about closing out the Heat, and I quote verbatim, "There's a saying, don't play with your food. We didn't want to play with our food."
What's that mean?
Words about Miami.
First of all, Giannis, no, because if he didn't say it before the series started, don't say it after it's done. Right? You're gonna talk that trash. Talk it before the series starts, bro. But that's a good one though.
That's a strong quote, JB.
That's a strong.
Pat Riley is going to hear that.
That's real strong after you beat somebody.
Pat Riley is going to hear that. Pat Riley is going to do something about that.
Next year, of course.
Well, but we'll have to get into that. But Miami's a mess right now. Anyway, that's a whole other show next year. But
y'all got the weights, million.
They're a mess right there.
We'll bring you that information.
I really like your breakdown of the Bucks, Chris. I think that, like you say, of course, besides the Nets, the Bucks and the Sixers, who were other top 2 teams in the East, got the best chance to come out of the East. And the Sixers got an easier path. They only got to play one of those teams once, right?
Yeah, that was important to get that.
Yep.
The Nets couldn't get healthy enough to stay out of there. So yeah. All right, that's good. So now we're Joey. We're getting into the world famous, right?
They know what it's time for.
What time it is?
They know what it's time for. Tell us,
it's time for that world renowned, world famous. Just I don't have the words to describe the accolades that have been poured down.
We're already
on
getting
this
accolades.
Elite Eight.
Copyright.
Last week, Jerry, some of the phone calls he's getting from people.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk hitting him on the speed dial last week about
my gosh.
About the Elite Eight going to Mars.
They're trying to get it on Mars.
We can't top that. We already interplanetary, so you can't top it, right? We are
Right.
the CJ Squared is the Elite Eight that other Elite Eights want to be.
Who did
Here, right
Elon
here.
Musk, Joey? Who did Elon Musk think was the most clutch?
You know what? That dude has been emailing the mess out of me. I've been deleting so many things from him. I may have to go back so I can get that email that he sent to me because he does respond to our show.
At least he's good.
He's trying to be like Paladin. He wants to tell us what we should be talking about. Like, okay, Elon, I'll get to you. I'll get to you. My goodness.
All right, hit him with that Elite Eight, Joey.
So the Elite Eight for this week CJ Squared Elite Eight. First of all, let me just remind the millions that are watching out there to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications. And if there's ever anything that you would like the CJ Squared Elite Eight to discuss, please leave a comment and we will review that during the CJ Squared production meeting.
Yeah, we'll huddle up.
So this week, CJ Squared Elite Eight, we're gonna stay on the NBA theme. It's gonna be a little bit different this week, y'all. A little bit different. This week, CJ Squared Elite Eight is dedicated to who is the most annoying player in the NBA.
The most annoying player. Oh, it's so good.
These are the ones we got. We got a pretty good list here, also.
Yes, we do.
They're all annoying.
Here is the rundown. Number 1 seed, Draymond Green. Number 2 seed,
Draymond gonna cuss us out.
LeBron James. Number 3 seed, Kevin Durant. Number 4 seed.
Get Twitter ready.
Right. Number 4 seed, ready. Uncle Drew, Kyrie Irving. Number 5 seed.
The earth's flat.
The earth is flat. You may fall off. Number 5 seed, the real MVP, Chris Paul, CP3. Number 6 seed,
Cliff Paul.
Oh, Cliff.
Number 6 seed, I hate Houston, James Harden. Number 7 seed, the best defensive point guard in the league. He can beat anybody up, Patrick Beverly. And the number 8 seed, the soon-to-be MVP of this season, Nikola Jokic.
The Joker.
The Joker.
We will let you all know why. I think there needs to be for those millions that are like, really? Why would you all have Jokic? He doesn't even do anything. I think there may
he does.
An explanation. And we will give you a quick explanation as to why Jokic was chosen as the number 8 seed. So let's go to the top of our bracket. Let's start with the number 1 versus number 8 seed. We got Draymond Green, number 1 seed, versus the number 8 seed, soon to be MVP, the Joker, Jokic. JB, we will go to first. Will you please give your explanation as to why Jokic is the number 8 seed?
I apologize for this week's CJ Squared Elite Eight because somebody's going to get offended. I need to be offended. It's all in fun. But let's stop right here, right? All right, the Joker. The Joker is annoying because most of the time he looks like he doesn't know why he's on the court. He doesn't know that he's an NBA player. This, right? But even so, he's not more annoying than Draymond Green. Oh my God. Okay. This is why Draymond Green is annoying.
That's all you
need. Up the game. In the pen. Done. You are officially the most annoying player ever. Yeah, you should have airball layup at the end of the game. I'm not showing you no. I'm an NBA player.
Awful shot.
Come.
Awful shot.
There you go. Come on.
Draymond is through for JB. Chris?
So actually, at first when we said Jokic, I'm like, oh, he doesn't seem that bad. But then I started to think about it. And first off, you're a superstar MVP level guy. We've talked about Karl Malone. Nobody cares about him. That's Jokic. You never hear a guy really say, I love Jokic. So he's just boring. And he also, whenever he does fouls, like if he wants to complain to the referee, he always will foul somebody right there to stop the game so he can complain more. It's super annoying. He wastes the foul away so that he can actually complain more to the referee, or he just doesn't run down the court. Oh, it's so annoying. He's just a boring superstar with no, and I think he's actually a funny guy and has a personality, but he is kind of annoying. But with that being said, he's not even in the same class of annoying as Draymond Green for me. We'll get into for me later why Draymond, but Jokic is more annoying than I gave him credit for. He should be on there because he's just a boring. For an MVP, you would want to watch and you just don't. You just don't really care about him. He's a great player that you just don't care about. So, but Draymond's for me.
Draymond is through for Chris. Of course, let me remind the millions that this is a majority rules situation. Therefore, my vote would not count, but Draymond would be my vote as well. Draymond is through.
Hardly ever in cahoots, so.
Yeah, there we go.
Let's go to the bottom of the bracket. Let's go to the number 2 versus number 7 seed. Number 2, King James versus the number 7 seed, Pat Beverly. This is an interesting matchup here.
Oh, this is way too early.
Where you going, Chris?
Oh, this is a tough one for me. Oh man, Beverly is super annoying. Like he talks a ton, and he's a pretty good defender. He's a pretty good defender, but he acts as if he's a superstar in the league, and I would just say he's a pretty decent. He's a maybe a once or twice All-NBA level guy, but he acts like he's on the level of the Westbrooks and all those other guys. He's constantly talking. I don't even necessarily know how annoying as far as if he was in like 90s, 80s, he probably would have fit in right there. You just don't get a lot of Patrick Beverleys right now. He's also, remember he hurt Russell Westbrook.
My dad brought that up.
Oh, yeah. So, but with that being said, LeBron James to me, and we'll get into that later if he makes it through, because he's such a crybaby and a flopper. And he's a great player, but I just have to go. I'm going to go LeBron. So hopefully he'll make it through.
King is through for Chris. Where you going, JB?
Well, I mean, Chris made like all the arguments for Patrick Beverly. He made them. I mean, goodness. Really, oh my God. I mean, go back to the bowl last year. Saying it all it's to Draymond. Draymond to the team. Beverly starting on the same level as Damian.
You don't deserve to talk to him.
Even close. Not even close. Why did you win so much, LeBron? Why you're in the East and you go to the the championship every year? Why? Why must you do that to the rest of the league, LeBron? You go out west. It hurt.
So he gets penalized.
Must you keep winning? Therefore, LeBron, you are an annoying player. I love you, LeBron. You are one of the greatest players of all time. But please, let somebody else win. It doesn't hurt to let somebody else win. You know, mellow, give it a taste. Come on, man. Please. All right, LeBron going through for me.
LeBron, the King is through.
Beverly, you deserve to be number 1 seed. But,
he could easily be.
Majority rules. I would have gone Pat Beverly because of him pointing to his watch, mocking Dame time, which I like. This dude is really mocking possibly the best point guard in the entire world right now. He's literally over there mocking him.
Yeah.
That really bugged me.
He
Oh
got
my
his.
goodness, that really,
He
really
went
bugged.
fishing.
Now, don't get me wrong. I know Pat Bev would come to my driveway with that hoop out there and give me 40. I
He'll give you
realize
buckets. He'll give you buckets.
I realize this.
Yeah, I mean, he'll dominate you.
But he will.
He's my prime. Dominate me.
But he is very irritating. So
Yeah.
but he is not as irritating as the king at this moment. Let's go up to the 3 versus 6 matchup. Very interesting matchup here. 3 seed KD versus 6 seed James Harden.
Well,
JB, I have a feeling I know where you may be going here.
First, let's start by KD. I don't need no reprisals. Okay, we're just normal guys having conversations, bro.
You better be careful, JB.
To hit me on Twitter and cuss me out.
Check your Twitter.
My mouth. All right, I don't need that. I don't need it in my life. Okay, I really don't. All right, but let me tell you, it's the best thing, man. It's annoying stuff. I mean, most of you doing stuff is not even on the basketball court. That's the bad thing. You do annoying stuff outside of basketball.
Yeah.
What? Stop. But you are definitely not a James Harden. Let's start with this trend. Harden, you got kids out here taking 10 steps shooting jump shots and they pick up their dribble. Really? You're traveling. Now, this year, you haven't done it that much. You haven't done it at all this year because first you start out of Houston, and then, not to mention, in Houston, you didn't come in shape. You didn't care. You forced your way out. That was annoying. You go to the one team that already got 2 superstars. That was annoying. Right? So, you're annoying, James Harden. I've been talking about that ridiculous 5-step back 3-point shot. I hate that. It's me in the game, but NBA, they love that different stuff, right? They love it. So anyway, KD, chill, bro. Harden, you going through for JB.
James Harden is through for JB. Chris, where you going?
I agree with everything that JB said about Harden. All those things are super annoying. And I'm over his beard at this point. It's just too much. But also over his face because remember, like he's one of those guys when you see him without the beard, like when you see his Arizona State pictures, you're like, there's a reason he needed the beard because he's a goofy looking dude. But I'm gonna go Durant mostly because I'm an OKC guy, and to leave when a team beats you, you're up on them 3-1. And then you jump ship to an already really good championship level team. Instead of trying to stay and win, you jump ship multiple times to try to build super teams. Even though KD's probably my favorite player, it's the other stuff that JB talked about. On court, KD's probably my favorite guy, but off court, he's pretty annoying. So I'm gonna go KD here.
KD through.
I'm sorry, Joe. I know this. You got the final vote. Can I forgot to mention one thing about KD that's really annoying. KD, work on that crossover, man. I am getting tired of your crossover when you pile me the ball and you carry. I'm getting tired of it. I'm sorry. It's a call I carry every time. You and Jason Tatum. It ain't Kawhi. Y'all should stop doing that, man. Y'all shouldn't do it either.
Let me just mention to the millions. This is coming from someone who is a pretty successful basketball coach and really likes fundamentals and likes kids that just play hard. That's the reason why you're going to hear this coming from JB. Stop palming the ball.
Stop it. Can't do that, man.
Joey, you're up.
We got Harden and KD. The reason why I'm going to put this person through is going to go back to JB's argument. You don't quit on your teammate. Bottom line, you never leave a man behind.
Sorry, man.
Showed up, and as Chris also mentioned, when he left, he also threw his teammates under the bus on his way out.
He capped on them.
Teammates. That is an awful teammate.
Yeah.
James Harden, you are going through to the Final Four. Congratulations.
James Harden. Congratulations.
You're
James Harden is through.
Mr. MVP.
Let's go to the 4-5 matchup. We got Uncle Drew, the number 4 seed, Kyrie Irving versus the real MVP, point guard, Phoenix Suns, CP3, Chris Paul. Where you going, Chris?
I'm not a Kyrie fan, so this one's easy for me. He's a guy who acted like he could lead. He leaves LeBron basically saying, I want to go and lead a team. And then he goes to Boston, can't lead them. And then he throws LeBron under the bus, talking about how he's never had a guy who can close games when we've already seen LeBron can close games. So he throws him under the bus. And he's just annoying. He'll take time off for like other stuff out and say, oh, it's there's too much going on in the world. It's like, dude, to me, it's like, I'm not saying that you can't have a voice, but it's just do your job. And then still like, look at LeBron. LeBron, for as annoying as he is, he's able to find a way to give his voice out there and still do his job and play sports. And to me, Kyrie's just, and all the flat earth stuff, oh, it's just too much for me. He's not a number one, but he acts like a number one, and the kids love him like he's a number one.
He got handles. The dude got handles, though.
He does have handles. He's more hyped of a clutch player than he actually is, all because of really one massive shot.
One shot, medicine.
And he has not shown the ability to lead, but he thinks he can. So for that reason, Chris Paul is whiny, and he's definitely whiny. And we've seen he even hit a nut shot on somebody in college, remember?
Julius Hodge.
So he's definitely annoying.
Nut shot. Oh my God.
So I would say, but to me, still Kyrie goes through.
Kyrie
I'm putting Kyrie through.
Chris.
All right, so let's start with this. Both of them really have two really annoying alter egos. Like Chris Paul, and we got Uncle Drew. There's three. One from me. Uncle Drew, dude, look like
Uncle Drew can get
face off and waking up and braiding hair. I'm gonna give you buckets. I'm gonna give you buckets. No tea.
Getting buckets.
Big Chris Paul has this Chris Paul dude. This is Magic Place. Clark Kent, Superman. Come on, man. They're both annoying. Both great basketball players.
Yes, they are.
I would say the most annoying person on the court is probably Chris Paul. Because Chris Paul, yeah, he would do some stuff on the court. He would talk some trash too. So, but that's a tough one for me because those alter egos annoy me more than anything. So I am going to let Joey decide. I'm gonna go with CP3. His MVP.
Joey.
Great. Through for JB. Here's the reason why this person is going through to face Draymond in the Final Four. This is very simple. And there's nothing that he can do about it. But the reason why CP3 is going to defeat Kyrie is because it's really annoying and irritating that he gets hurt in the playoffs every year. And I know that there's nothing that he can do. There's nothing he can do about it. But it's irritating that every playoff year he gets hurt. So, Chris Paul, when you see this, Chris Paul, I love you. Okay?
I love you, Chris Paul.
And I am so hurt and sad that this injury bug hits you every year. There's nothing that you can do. This you're not doing it on purpose. But if you were just always healthy, you just wonder what if. So
what if?
you're irritating because you always get injured. You are going through
Cliff
to face
You and Cliff.
Draymond. All right, final four. Let's go back to the bottom of the bracket. We got King James versus James Harden. JB, where you going?
James versus James.
James versus James.
Who you got,
who's up?
JB?
Me?
JB.
You're up, JB.
No, listen. There's nobody more annoying to me than James Harden. There's nobody. Maybe one person, right? You're gonna find out. There's one person that's more annoying to me than James Harden, right? LeBron is annoying because he's always winning. Mannerism, he throwing powder in the air. He tucking his mouthpiece under his jersey. He's cheating his free throw shot because every once in a while LeBron can't shoot free throws. He's shooting threes with at 3 baskets and shooting for the middle. LeBron got stuff, but he wins all the time. He's a winner. But James Harden, you quit on your team. You have poisoned the minds of millions of people with those that are going to step back threes. We step back three. But the other one, we took 5 steps. It's so annoying. I'm sorry, James Harden.
James Harden is through for JB. Where you going, Chris?
Oh, LeBron for me, for sure. He's just too whiny, too floppy. He's arguably the second greatest player of all time. And most people don't, at this point, that's not an argument, really. Most people give him the respect. But what did he say last year after he won? Give me my respect. And it's like, dude, who's not giving you respect? Now, almost everybody says you're a top 3 player. They're just not putting you at 1. So what? He's demanding that we put him at 1. Well, you're not going to be 1.
Yes, he is.
Really, that's what he's saying is I want to be 1 and 1A, right? Is that what he's saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's annoying because, first off, he's number 23. If you're at a legacy guy, get your own number. That's really annoying. And he just recently said last year in the bubble was like him. He was feeling like he had PTSD, which is ridiculous. You're comparing your life at Disney resorts, having to, as a millionaire or multi-millionaire, to people who go to war and come back after they've been in war for years and, they have actual PTSD. And we're supposed to feel sorry for a guy who is at Disney resorts. Most people would kill over COVID, where all of us were inside, right? We all had to deal with that. Mm-hmm. And then he's saying, and we need to feel sorry for him. He's like, oh, it's the hardest thing in my career. I'm sorry, but that's annoying for us to have to feel bad for a guy who's at a resort and he's getting a way better life than almost all of us are ever going to deal with, and we're supposed to feel sorry for him. James Harden is annoying, but LeBron is on a whole other level for all those reasons. So it's not even close to me. It's LeBron.
Oh, Jimmy, you call.
The king.
I feel like I at least made a decent case for LeBron.
Racist. I thought, I'm like, man, you find LeBron.
The king is through. This is very simple for me. You don't quit on your team. Harden
Come on.
is through.
James Harden.
Wait, what did LeBron quit that one year? Remember they were in the playoffs, he quit.
13.
Remember that year?
He's a quitter.
Are you saying LeBron against the Celtics?
Remember he quit. He completely quit on his team.
Nah. Not like this. Not like this. You don't quit on your team. You don't show up to work unprepared and then look at this. Oh, that crossover went out of bounds. Oh, I'll get it next time. Oh, bad pass over there. Oh, I'll throw that pass better next time. You don't quit on your team. James Harden is through. He's a quitter.
James Harden, the worst.
Let's go to the other semifinal. CP3 versus Draymond.
This one's not close.
Let's go to you first, Chris.
Yeah, this one's not close. Draymond. He's
Draymond is through.
Yeah, he's annoying. It's not even close for me.
Where you going, JB?
It's not even close, man.
Not close for JB either.
LeBron in the nuts. then the Golden State Warriors win the championship. The greatest season in NBA history. That's fine.
And 3-9.
They decided, let me go ahead and bring his balls. And of course, we did recently, which I've already discussed about the air ball at the end of the game.
Awful layup attempt.
The other stuff that he does, claiming that he's the best defender in the league. I don't think so. I'm sorry, you're not. You're not better than Rudy Gobert at defense.
No.
He's better than some other guys at defense, right? But yeah, I gotta go with Draymond too.
Draymond is through. I'm going Draymond there as well. We've got a final of Draymond Green versus James Harden.
Oh my God.
Draymond versus James Harden. JB's, where you going?
I mean, you know what? I'm not even going to talk about why these guys are so annoying anymore. I've already made my case. But as a coach, right? I know NCAA coach. I coached in high school and middle school. Won my little championships. Yes, I've won championships, okay?
A lot.
I've won championships. And the thing, besides a turnover, is somebody on the team. Stand balls. Mistakes in the game. You know, somebody ended up going by accident or on purpose. But don't quit on your team and throw them under the bus.
Don't leave them behind.
No, I'll do that. I'll leave a man behind. So for me, the most annoying person right now in the NBA is James Harden.
James Harden's through for JB. Chris, where we going?
Not close, but it's the other way this time. It's Draymond for me. First off, a guy who acts like an all-star. He's to me who, like we said, Patrick Beverley. He talks a ton, but he, other than those years where he was protected by being around great players, when we saw those guys removed, we saw what he truly was not a guy who could even score 10 points a game. He was a guy, what did Charles Barkley say? What was this thing? A triple single. That's what he was averaging. And this is a guy who talks constantly. He basically ran Durant out of there. He's multiple flagrant fouls. He is always getting teed up. He's constantly talking. You remember he kicked Steven Adams in the nuts, and then like you said, he hit LeBron. And you rarely see LeBron actually getting up in someone's face as the play's going on. But I mean, even he drew the bitterness of LeBron on that play. He's just constantly talking and is just he's just an annoying guy. He's actually not a bad announcer, but he's an annoying
not.
guy. Just the way he talks is annoying. So everything about him, the fact that he even has all-star on his resume annoys the heck out of me, because he talks about how he is one of the greatest defenders of all time, where to me, he's a pretty good defender. But if he were to be back in, like, you would have put him on the guys, like some of those guys in the 90s, I think he would have gotten crushed. You know, right now he's fine because he can stretch the floor with those guys, but I think he would have gotten killed back in the day. So, for me, it's not close. It's Draymond.
Draymond through for Chris.
You now, Joey, you get to make the
Draymond Green. One thing. He will never quit on his teammates. Draymond will be on the front line every single time. If something happens negative to Steph, something happens negative to Clay, or whoever, the last person on the bench, Draymond Green will be right there to defend any of those cats that are his teammates. Yes, he did possibly ran KD out, possibly did, but he will never quit on his team. James Harden, even though I love you,
we do,
and you may be since, as Chris pointed out, since you've been in Brooklyn, you are arguably the best player in the league since you've been, when you are healthy, playing in Brooklyn. But you are tonight's CJ Squared Elite 8 champion for being the most annoying player in the NBA. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And none of my picks went through. I was hating on LeBron. I was hating on Draymond, KD. I think I picked. Oh man, this was not my Elite 8.
Hey, it's how it goes sometimes, man.
Apparently, you guys hate quitters.
We can't stand quitters.
I mean, that is one of the most annoying things that somebody can do is quit on their teammates, and not only quit on them, but throw them under the bus. You can leave. Just quietly. Just leave. Don't leave and say, "Oh, we don't have a chance to win here, so what am I doing?"
I get it. I completely get it.
Don't do that. Draymond, yes. Draymond, everything you said about Draymond, Chris, is true.
It is.
I mean, it is. He's always talking, and he's always got something to say. Some things he says are very profound, very good for the game. And sometimes he says stuff like, "What? What are you talking about?" But that's just part of who he is, and then when you give him those, he got defensive player of the year, he got some championships as an all-star, you just make him swell up more. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is, right? Because it's like the guys talk based on what they have done. Anyway, so hopefully we don't have any like Kwame Brown situations where people are coming after us. But
hopefully not.
It's okay. We want our feelings will not get hurt. Trust me.
No, they will not.
Yeah, so leave down in the comments who you think.
Make me famous. I love it. Now, so we reached that point of the show where after the Elite 8, which of course is always the best, we are at that point where we listen to our man, our boy, mi compadre, Joey, give us the hot take.
Hot boy.
It's so bad to call him Mr. Infuego. Like Kevin Harlan says. By the way, shout out the hot one. Remember, you still the hottest. Don't worry about it.
You are a hot one.
But Joey, hot take from last week. Let's recap the hot take. He said that the Oklahoma Sooners would just win the championship, the World Series softball championship. Dominate. We still have little time for that. But up against a team from JMU coming up. One loss for JMU. Should be a good matchup for Oklahoma. May just dominate them like they've been dominating all year. So, Joey, a lot of things going on in the sports world.
There's a lot.
Yeah, we got the French Open going on. We got NASCAR going on. We got golf going on. Oh, and by the way, Joey, I wanted to tell you your hot take about Dustin Johnson. He only got one major left. When's the year, bro? That PGA year, you got one major left. That's the British Open. If he doesn't win that, your hot take goes down the drain.
I've got great news. My sources just told me that there was a special dinner at the Gretzky household this past Saturday. There was a special dinner. Gretzky's sitting in his chair of kings. Sat his son-in-law down at the other end, 50 feet away from him, where they're not able to actually talk. He had to actually, like on Coming to America, the original one, where they had to press the little talking box so that they can speak to the other end. He doesn't want him near him right now. Doesn't want him near him. But things are looking better. He's been out on the greens practicing with the great one watching him. Things are looking better for him.
Okay. Now, I do want to mention that your call about the Clippers looking pretty good. The Clippers are up 22 in the fourth quarter. So that's looking pretty
They're
good. Even though it wasn't
surprising.
really a hot
It's
take,
disappointing, but surprising.
but your clip's looking good. So go ahead, Joey. What is your hot take for episode 12?
That series is over, by the way. JB and Chris, 'tis the season for around the Memorial Day weekend. We are celebrating the fallen soldiers around the world. The United States takes the Memorial Day holiday in a very serious manner. Matter of fact, I think there are a lot of different places around the world that take the Memorial Day holiday in a very serious manner. When I first got into teaching, I was fascinated learning about World War II. Fascinated. And one other thing that really fascinates me about World War II is looking at the images of when the Germans took over France, took it over, and just walking through Paris as if it belongs to them. They're German. They belong to Germany. France, Paris, or Paris, it belongs to the French. But after it's going to be this 2-week period, Paris will belong to one person because the French Open is going on right now. The French Open is going on right now. And there is someone who is looking at the French Open, and they have that marked as this person continues their rise to take over as the best women's tennis player in the entire world. Naomi Osaka has been to the French Open, and she has gotten to the third round 3 times. She is well on her way to replacing the queen, Serena, who does not need to win.
Serena, my bad. Serena Williams.
Who does not need to win anymore. She's sort of like a LeBron Jordan type. She always wins. Always. The greatest ever. There's no doubt, no question. And she's going to be there. But the thing is, Serena cannot beat Osaka anymore. She's not the Serena of old. She's looking in the mirror when she looks at what Naomi Osaka is. Serena puts her hand up. Osaka puts her hand up. Serena turns. Osaka turns. They're the same person right now, but Serena is not on that level anymore. Naomi Osaka knows that if she wants to get to Serena's level, she's going to have to win a career Grand Slam. She's won multiple Grand Slams, but there are 2 that she has not won. She has not won the French Open, and she has not won Wimbledon. The French Open will be marked off this June by Osaka when she wins the French Open. Now, it's going to be difficult because she's getting some hard press right now because she has apparently decided to ban her post-match press conferences. She's talking to the media right after the match is over, where they give the little interview after the match is, immediately over, but she's not going to the press conference. So the media is all over her. So hopefully that doesn't have a major effect on her attempting to win this thing. I have a feeling that it probably will, though. But I really love it when she does win it and she points to the media. I mean, she did say that her whole reasoning for it is because she doesn't want it to affect her in a negative way when it comes to, psychologically. When tennis is you better be gifted physically and you better be gifted mentally also. Just ask Serena. That's why she's the greatest ever. She's the best at every aspect of tennis. So after June, when we are through, it's probably going to be two Sundays. We will be here on our podcast saying, congratulations, Osaka, you have won your first French Open.
That's a hot
Market,
take, Joey, because I just looked, she's betting odds, she's 4th favorite. So that's a hot take. That's a hot take, Joey.
Who you got winning the men's? Who you got winning the men's? Who you got?
Oh, that's right. There's no doubt who's winning.
The favorite. Is it the King of the Clay?
Yes, the King of Clay will win another one. DJ Khaled, another one. And then DJ Khaled will make a song about Rafi winning another one.
He's the only one in minus numbers. He's minus 120 right now to win.
He's won 13 of the last 16 of them, so that's pretty good odds on that one, right?
And of course, I'm looking. There's no American men on that list at all.
Where are you, Pete Sampras?
Yeah.
Great hot take. Looking forward to that at the end of the French Open. So, like I said, now we have a little something different at the end, little outro. Since Joey had his hot take, I'm gonna throw the baton over to my man, Chris.
Oh, I'll take that.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna give you a little since we do sports and stuff. I've actually been we never really discussed music. I actually been listening to I've been going through all of the year. It's a site called Album of the Year. It gives you ratings for it. It's like an aggregate that gives you ratings for all the top albums. Most of them are not that great yet that I've listened to, but the top one I've listened to is a band called Lord Huron. It's a kind of a rock band that's it's almost an album. It's you would hear it in a Quentin Tarantino type movie. It's a 60s vibe. So it's called Long Lost. If you like that kind of music, it's definitely worth to check out. It's on Metacritic. They gave it an 88, which is pretty high for albums. So yeah, I mean, it's a band that, not really a huge band, but yeah. So I'm going to try to throw out some album takes every once in a while on here.
Nice.
You say Huron?
Lord Huron. Yeah. It's kind of got how Tarantino does kind of 60s kind of Western type of stuff.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like it would be in the soundtrack of one of those. That's the vibe to it. So
Joey, tell me how it sounds. I don't do rock music.
Yeah, I pretty much listen to everything. I actually was going through year end.
Lord, I don't. I lie. I don't. So yeah.
Their name.
I like.
Great Lakes.
If I hear a good rock song, I listen to it right on the radio, but I don't go when I get in the car. I don't look for that.
No. Well, I mean,
unfortunately, I'm sorry.
There's no the only rap. So I was doing last year's. I was also working through last year's year-end list and Run the Jewels. Do you get into them at all? That album from last year was
Run the
incredible.
Jewels?
Yeah.
Is it a rock band?
That's rap. Yeah. That's Killer Mike. Yeah. Have you heard them, Joe? You've probably heard some of their stuff in the commercials.
I have never heard of Run the Jewels, but I will be checking them out.
Yeah, it's rap, so you will like them. Joe,
Chris, and since you're my boy, I am going to listen to a few songs from the album you just said. I got you. I'm gonna tell you what I think. I'm gonna go outside the box.
All right, yeah. Let me know.
Here.
Yeah, let me know.
Outside the box, right?
All right, yeah, that's good. I like that.
All right, Jerry, what you got? And I know daggone golf cliches again. I don't want to see you here farting and crap. I don't want to see all that stuff again. You're out there on the links on the green out there cutting them up.
Gassy.
Gassed up. That's never happened before.
That was weird.
A great fill, JB. That was a great fill.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
I just want to say the Knicks have been getting beat up all night long. All night long.
Lionel Richie.
All night long.
All night.
All night.
But there's one particular Knicks fan. Well, there's one particular aspect of the Knicks that deserve to get beat up. And that is whoever that knucklehead is that decided to spit on Trae Young.
Wow, so disrespectful.
You are one of the things that is bad about letting fans back into the arena. I mean, for all the magic that we heard from Madison Square Garden, it's not just Madison Square Garden. I am biased towards it. The world's greatest arena. The fans in Atlanta were going nuts too. Okay, so shout out to everyone that is trying to do their best to get life back to normal, whatever normal is. Yes. But we don't need fans. We don't need fans that are trying to flex on these people from 25 feet away, 50 feet away. We don't need that. Shouts out to Belinda Segal one more time. Foolishness and malarkey coming from you all. Come on. Let's not get out of hand and start spitting and pouring popcorn on Russell Westbrook, who's limping back to the locker room. Can we please stop this and just go to the game to be a fan?
Yes.
I don't know where all this sense of entitlement. Oh well, we're paying for this. No, it's not like that.
Yeah, there's still people.
You're going to watch an athletic event. We're getting, some of these people are getting out of control, and they've been like that. So you better be careful, because you may have what's coming to you, just as dude that Vernon Maxwell stole back in.
That's what we need, is more Vernon Maxwell.
Shout out to organizations that ban those fans for life from those games. Shout out to them. I need to see a list. Thanks for no games. Any sport.
And why don't we charge them with assault also? Let's get them to the courtroom somewhere. Shouts out to our legal system for trying to get these people into the courtroom so we can find them too.
Yeah, stop it. Just stop it. All right. Well, okay. On the lighter side, thank you, Joey. Thank you, Chris. First, I want to give a shout out to Daniela, Mary, and Angelica. I sat in the office the other day at my job. You guys told me you like my show. You even told me some other stuff about my show, which I will not share because it's too embarrassing. But thank you for supporting.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
And we appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
Miss Mary had a quote. She was like, you get Jason and Joey together and just stuff good happens. So that's true.
Oh, there you go.
So that's a good look, because me and Jamie, since we've been together and working together and knowing each other, it's been a beautiful relationship. Shout out to my man Joey, right? Also, for all my Star Wars people, right? I bought my shirt for you tonight. I know the Mandalorian ended, and you were like, something to watch. Check out The Bad Batch on Disney Plus. I'm telling you right now.
Okay.
I'm telling you, check that Bad Batch out on Disney Plus. Right? You may have to go back. And watch that last sneaky season of the Clone Wars. There's a last season that was real sneaky they put in there on Disney Plus too. But check it out. So many things happening on there. Like even one of the characters from Mandalorian was on the Bad Batch. She was live action. Now she was a cartoon character.
Mm-hmm.
If you love that kind of stuff, right? Because for me, it's all about being versatile, right? I love sports. I love my Star Wars. I love my Marvel, not Marvel. I love Marvel. Marvel, right? If you want Seinfeld, Marvel, you know what I'm talking about. That Marvel ride.
Yeah.
If you watch Seinfeld, you don't have that Marvel ride. But if you don't watch Seinfeld, watch it. It's funny. But just be versatile. Look out there in the world and don't get stuck on one thing. Don't limit yourself to one thing. Enjoy as many things as you want. People can call you weird. They can call you different. But as long as you're happy, that's all that matters. Right? So, CJ Squared is out. Episode 12 in the books. Episode 13 coming up. We're going to keep it going. Have a good evening. Have a good day. Have a good morning. Listen, have a good one.
All right, guys.
Peace out.
We have spoken.